Hey,
Jeff,
how's it going? Yeah, I finally got on.
thank you for joining us. I know you listen. I know you're busy. You've got your hands full. You're training your stable of fighters, and you're from a legacy of boxing. So I know that you've got a lot of anticipation about tonight's match. Talk to me a little bit. What are you expecting?
Well, I mean, I'm expecting a great fight between two legends that gonna go out there, and I don't think that even though at their age that they are now, they're still gonna bring it, and I think they're gonna bring it 100%, and I think that it's gonna be very entertaining for everyone.
Jeff, you bring up a great point because again, history, knowledge, experience for yourself. I think a lot of people underestimate the danger that an experienced fighter poses. Share with me a little bit. When you talk to a young fighter and he's going to get in the ring, whether it be for sparring or whether it be for actually having a fight, a combat against an experienced fighter, what would you be telling them?
Well, I mean, most of the time I would talk to the experienced fighter first, and I would tell him to, to kind of like, not necessarily carry my guy, but still touch him every once in a while when you need to, just to let him know the right from wrong, things that you're doing wrong. But other than that, I mean, I would allow my guy to go out there and do what he has to do. But still, if there's an experienced fighter, I am going to tell that experienced fighter to not, destroy my guy. Because, I mean, in the gym, that can ruin a fighter. Just being put in there too soon and not actually, knowing your craft yet. And you get in there and you get knocked out. I mean, you might just walk away from the gym and you never come back. But it doesn't mean that you should, because you haven't really been in a match. You haven't had time to learn your craft and perfect it. So I don't think that I would put my guy in with a guy that's, one of those, because you have guys that have experience that will actually annihilate everyone that they put in front of them.
Sure.
And guys like that, I don't want my guy a new guy. I don't want to even get in the ring with a guy like that.
Right, of course. And to that point, Jeff, I mean, experienced fighters are dangerous, and you do want them to
Yeah, definitely.
want them to work with somebody to help that next protege to step up next level, next level. You don't want to throw them to wolves and watch somebody get beat up. So that's smart training, of course, and that's the way to properly develop a fighter. But in this instance, you've got two highly experienced fighters, both of them.
Well, this is something totally different. I mean, these are two guys that are, legends in their own right. And I think that they still, even at this age, they're out to prove, how great they were, And my only concern is that I don't want to see anyone get hurt or have an injury that may prolong them after this fight is over with. I just hope that both guys come out, unscathed and, be able to go home to their families and and just enjoy whatever happened that night
Yeah,
and be able to.
I'm exactly with you. I think you've got two boxing legends. Let's let them go in there. Let's let them shine. Let them bring the best out of each other with their skill, with their experience. They can have an exciting fight. Nobody has to go in to try to just destroy the other person or do anything, in a detrimental manner. I know they're going to be fighting with intensity, and that's great. I wouldn't expect any of them to do anything less.
No, definitely not.
Fight and perform, and everybody can have a great fight, and they can both walk out of there with dignity intact.
Yes, that's what I hope to see tonight. I mean, I'm very excited about this fight. I mean, it is a fight that could have happened, years and years back in their career, but it didn't happen. So now we still got to get a chance to see two great guys go at it, and it's supposedly an exhibition, but myself, I don't believe it's going to be an exhibition. I heard there was something about a no knockout rule or something like that. How could you even come up with something like that? Because, I mean, you have two guys that are fighting.
And you can't, listen, they say there's a no knockout rule, but you can't un-knock out someone if it happens. So, every time
I mean,
Yeah,
I never heard of a such thing because I mean it's a fight, and that's what happened in fights, you
exactly.
know. And I mean, and like I said, I mean these are two guys that are they're not going to, you know, they're not going to carry each other or just try to make it look entertaining to everyone. I think that you know that they're going to come in and they're going to put their best foot forward,
I agree
you know.
completely. And obviously, you have two champions. You have champion heart. You have champion caliber fighters. You have legendary fighters, and you've got the way they represent themselves, stepping in that ring. We're not talking about two dogs of a fighter. We're talking about two fighters that step up and rise to the occasion. So I think
Yeah,
I think there's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be exciting and interesting. And I want both fighters to walk out of there, proud and satisfied that they, at their age, with their level of experience, they represented themselves at a championship level and with pride.
exactly. I think that you and I are in complete agreement that that's what I think we both want to see.
Yeah. So, Jeff, listen, thanks for taking time out. You're watching the fight tonight with friends and family. How's it going to go?
Well, actually, I'm watching this by myself. I'm happy. I don't need anyone, so that way I can just sit back and enjoy it myself with no interference. So, I think that like I said, I mean, I think that it's going to be a great fight. I think that Roy has to, you know, he has to box as smart as he possibly can. And I think that Tyson has to be Tyson. Tyson, like Tyson's always been, and that come to get you, and that's his attitude, and that's always been his attitude. That you know, I don't know if Tyson still got the old stare down that he used to use to scare everybody. And so,
They locked eyes today. And listen, Roy's no dog, so he stood there and held his own. But you saw a focus and an intensity from Mike Tyson yesterday. It was spot on from both of them. Hey, Jeff, thanks for
right.
time to join us. Enjoy this fight tonight.
Thank you.
Y'all know to go to TysonTriller.com. And thanks for joining us in the Tyson Media Room here at Staples Center. Cheers.